Have you ever wondered why trust is so vital in our lives, particularly when it comes to faith? Trust, that simple five-letter word, is the glue that holds our lives together, the foundation upon which we build relationships, whether with our family, friends, or colleagues. It's like the invisible thread that weaves through the fabric of our everyday existence, quietly reinforcing our connections and interactions. Now imagine taking this concept of trust and applying it to something much larger, more profound, our faith. The idea might seem daunting or even overwhelming, but it is indeed the cornerstone of spiritual growth. Trusting in God or a higher power is like entrusting the steering wheel of your life to someone else. It's about believing that even when the road ahead looks treacherous or obscured by fog, you are being guided safely and lovingly towards your destination. Consider the trust you place in a friend when you share a secret, confident that it will be kept safe. Or the trust you extend to a doctor, allowing them to guide you through a health challenge. These everyday acts of trust are in many ways akin to the trust we place in God. When we trust in God, we are expressing our belief in His wisdom and benevolence. We are acknowledging that there are things beyond our understanding, forces at work that we cannot see or comprehend. Just like the trust we place in a friend or a doctor, trusting in God requires a leap of faith, a willingness to surrender control and open ourselves to the mystery of the divine. This trust is not always easy. It can be tested, stretched to its limits, and sometimes it may even waver. But it is through these trials that our trust and consequently our faith grows stronger. It becomes a beacon of hope in times of uncertainty, a source of comfort in moments of despair. Now let's delve deeper into what Scripture says about trust in God. In the forthcoming scenes, we will explore the biblical perspective on trust, the nature of God's trustworthiness, our role in trusting God, the benefits of such trust, and finally, a call to trust. So, stay tuned and let's journey together into the heart of trust. The Bible, an age-old source of wisdom, has a lot to say about trust. It is a recurrent theme woven into the fabric of numerous verses and stories, offering us insight and guidance on the subject. Let's delve into a few of these verses together, shall we? First, we have Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. This verse emphasizes that trust is not an intellectual exercise, but a matter of the heart. It encourages us to surrender our limited understanding and trust in God's superior wisdom. When we do so, we're promised that He will guide our steps. Next, Psalm 28:7 declares, "The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted in Him, and I am helped." This verse beautifully illustrates how trust in God provides strength and protection. It conveys an image of God as a shield, a protector of those who trust in Him. And not just that, it assures us of His help when we place our trust in Him. Lastly, we have Psalm 37:5, which states, "Commit your way to the Lord, trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass." This verse takes the concept of trust a step further, calling us to commit our ways to God. This is not a passive trust, but an active commitment of our lives and our plans to Him. When we do this, the verse assures us that God will bring our plans to fruition. These verses, and many more, underscore the importance of trust in our relationship with God. They call us to a deeper, more profound trust, one that is not merely intellectual but emotional and practical. They assure us that when we trust in God, we are not left alone, but are guided, protected, and helped. So let's take these words to heart and strive to trust in God with all that we are. But why should we trust God? What makes Him trustworthy? This is a question that has echoed through the ages, a question that we will delve into in this segment. At the heart of God's trustworthiness is His unchanging nature. In the book of Numbers, chapter 23, verse 19, we find a profound statement. God is not a man that He should lie, nor a son of man that He should change His mind. Does He speak and then not act? Does He promise and not fulfill? This scripture paints a clear picture of a God who is consistent, a God who does not waver. When God makes a promise, He keeps it. When He speaks, His words come to fruition. His unchanging nature is a beacon of stability in a world that's constantly in flux. But God's trustworthiness extends beyond His consistency. It's also rooted in His faithfulness. Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 4 refers to God as the rock. His work is perfect, for all His ways are justice. A God of faithfulness and without injustice, righteous and upright is he. This scripture underscores God's unwavering commitment to justice and righteousness. His faithfulness isn't contingent on our actions or circumstances. It's an intrinsic part of his character. So, why should we trust God? Because his nature is one of consistency and faithfulness. He doesn't change with the seasons or the shifting sands of time. He doesn't falter or fail. He is steadfast, reliable, and true. His promises are sure and his actions are always in line with his words. God's trustworthiness isn't a quality he possesses, it's who he is. He is truth. He is faithfulness. And because of these attributes, he is worthy of our trust. But remember, trust isn't a one-way street. It's a two-way relationship. God's nature is the very definition of trustworthiness, but trusting him requires something from us. Our next scene will explore what our role is in trusting God. Stay tuned. Trust isn't just about God being trustworthy, it's also about us making the conscious decision to trust him. Our role in trusting God is as significant as the trustworthiness of God himself. It's an active, deliberate choice we make, a step of faith we take. It's not a passive acceptance, but an active surrender. It involves acknowledging our limitations and choosing to lean not on our own understanding, but on God's wisdom and love. Remember the words of Proverbs 3, 5, 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. These verses aren't just about God's trustworthiness, they're also about our response to his trustworthiness. They call us to trust God with all our heart, not only part of it. This trust isn't conditional or partial, it's complete, unwavering, steadfast. This trust involves surrender. It's a surrender of our wisdom, our plans, our understanding. It's a surrender to a higher wisdom, a divine plan, an understanding that surpasses ours. It's acknowledging that we don't have all the answers, but we trust in one who does. And this trust involves faith. It's a faith that believes even when it does not see. It's a faith that trusts even when it does not understand. It's a faith that clings to God even when the storms of life rage. It's a faith that says, I don't know how, but I know who. Trusting God is more than just acknowledging that he is trustworthy. It's choosing to trust him, even when circumstances make it difficult. It's choosing to trust him, even when our understanding falls short. It's choosing to trust him, even when our faith is tested. Trusting God is a decision, a leap of faith that brings us closer to him. It's a decision that transforms our lives, our perspectives, our relationships. It's a leap of faith that propels us into a deeper relationship with God, a stronger faith, a richer life. It's a leap that is worth taking. So what happens when we decide to trust God? What are the benefits? Well, for starters, trusting God helps us to navigate the stormy seas of life. When we trust God, we anchor our souls in a safe and secure harbor. The prophet Jeremiah beautifully illustrates this in Jeremiah 17:7-8. He compares the person who trusts in God to a tree planted by the water. This tree does not fear when heat comes, its leaves remain green, and it is not anxious in the year of drought. It does not cease to bear fruit. That's a powerful image, isn't it? When we trust God, we are like that tree. Even in the face of adversity and hardship, we continue to thrive. We continue to bear fruit. Our leaves remain green. We remain unshaken. Another benefit of trusting God is the peace that surpasses all understanding. This peace is not dependent on our circumstances. It is a deep-seated peace that comes from knowing that God is in control, that he is working all things out for our good. It's the peace that the psalmist talks about in Psalm 37:3-6. Trust in the Lord, do good, and he will give you the desires of your heart. In addition, trusting God opens the door to his blessings. God delights in blessing those who trust in him. These may not always be material blessings, though they can be. More often, they are spiritual blessings, a sense of purpose, joy, love, and fulfillment that money can't buy. But perhaps the greatest benefit of trusting God is the assurance of his love for us. When we trust God, we are affirming that he is good, that he loves us, and that his plans for us are for our welfare and not for harm. This assurance gives us the courage to face whatever comes our way. Trusting God brings immeasurable benefits, transforming our lives in ways we can't even imagine. Trusting God is a journey, a step we take every day. It's not a one-time event, but a continual process that unfolds over time. It's like walking through a forest. You don't know what's around the next corner, but you keep walking, trusting that the path will lead you to your destination. That's what trusting God is like. It's acknowledging that we don't have all the answers. We don't know what's around the bend, but we trust in Him to guide us. We trust in His infinite wisdom and His unfailing love. We trust in the scriptures we've discussed, those holy verses that remind us of His promises, His faithfulness, and His love. The journey of trust can be challenging. Yes, it can be filled with uncertainties, doubts, and fears. But remember, it's also filled with grace, with love, and with divine guidance. It's filled with the knowledge that the Creator of the universe is with us, guiding us, holding us, even when we're walking through the darkest valleys. And the benefits of this trust, they are beyond words. Peace that surpasses all understanding, strength in times of weakness, hope in times of despair, joy in times of sorrow. Trusting God doesn't mean that life will be without challenges, but it does mean that we have an eternal, unchanging source of strength and hope to lean on. So what's stopping you? Start your journey of trust today. Take that step, even if it's small, even if it's uncertain. Share this message with others too. Share the hope, the peace, the joy that comes from trusting God. You never know who might need to hear it, who might be encouraged, who might start their own journey of trust because of your willingness to share. Remember, trust is not a static state. It's a dynamic, ever-evolving journey. And every journey starts with a single step. So, take that step today. Trust in God and see how your life transforms.